This is the Euro USD. I'm assessing. I'm assessing what the possibilities could be, and the practice of assessing and generating my thesis needs to be conducted repeatedly to fine-tune the process that I have. So when I look at, I have to essentially critically analyze the steps that I'm taking, when I make a trade. And then when I critically analyze how the trade is made, then I can enhance it and improve my statistical advantage in trading. So I'm looking at the situation, and what am I supposed to be looking at, and what are the things that I need in order to make a decision. And so when those things are supplied, or those things are fulfilled, then I can make a sound judgment in making a conclusion, judgment or a thesis in the way that I want to take the trade. So I have to analyze the specifics, the criteria that are out there, and then use that criteria in order to make a trade. Even if it's a scalping situation where I have to make a quick decision, I have to go through the mental process of understanding how my trades are made, and based on what criteria am I using in order to make that trade. And so when I repeatedly cycle through these decision processes, then eventually what I would do is be able to fine tune my process and make my trades a lot more accurate and faster. Okay, so that's what I need to do. So if I were to go through here, so what am I looking for? I'm looking for a defined note that tells me that which direction it's going to go. It's very simple. Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Or is it going to go sideways? So now I'm looking at, so this time around, I know that it's not going to be 100% correct the way that I make this decision. And so, okay, if I were to take this out, all the way here, now this is yesterday, the opening from yesterday, I think. Let's see. So that would be the first. Yep, it's the first. It's yesterday's open, I think, right around here. So today's, well, if I look at today, it's 1657, which is the opening, 1700. So at about 1700, that's when it started to open right here. Okay, that's 24 hours ago. Right here is 24 hours ago, right there, of where I am right now. So that would be 1720. And currently, let's take a look at it. Okay, so that's where I am right now. And this is 24-hour period. So it fell below where this level is, and it was up, and there was a dramatic downturn. And now it's languishing at the bottom. Usually when it drops, it'll keep going down. That's the way it is. If I look at the daily, see that? If I'm thinking that it's gone too far down, this is too far down. If I look at the week here, still that's too far down right there. And then if I look at the monthly, that was the bottom right there. Came from all the way up there. So I'm looking at this situation. If it's going to reach the bottom, it's got a long ways to go. So I'm looking at the other trades to see, obviously, for a person who knows what they're doing, everything makes sense. And every trade is a potential trade. Every candle is a potential trade based on what's going on here. So the decision that I need to use in order to make my decision is to define what are the things that I need to, what are the things that I need in order to make a decision. What are the things that I need to use in order to make a decision? What are they? So what are the things that I use in order to make a decision? What are the things? What are the things that I'm at? So what are the things that I need in order to make a decision? So what are the things? What things do I need in order to make a decision? What? In day trading. So let's figure this out. Okay, so let's make it very, very simple. Let's say I'm driving and there's a sign that says left turn ahead. Okay. Or it says stop sign ahead. Okay, let's say there's a thing called stop sign ahead. So I have to make a decision. How do I make this decision? So I'm in a car and I'm approaching that stop sign, and there was another sign before that stop sign that says there's a stop sign. Okay, that's a sign. So decision is a process of recognizing the sign before I see the actual sign. Because if I see the actual sign, that means that wherever that I'm attempting to go has already been there if I see it. But if I see the sign before the sign, that means that I'm making a decision to realize the gain that I need to have, and that's the way that I'm trading. So that's the decision process. Okay. So now, how do I go about making that decision? Okay, so the sign. So let's analyze the sign. The sign is a Department of Transportation made and has been posted certain distance away from the actual sign. Okay, it displays what the intent is, and it has a clear schematic representation based on the rules that define how the sign should be placed to legitimize what it is. And it has a specific shape. What's most important is the context that is being displayed to display what the actual intent is, which is stop sign ahead. Okay, stop sign. So I need to look at what the content is because it's encased in a specific it's encased in a specific display, which is a signboard which has the sign in it, and that sign is foretelling what's going to happen when I progress my car towards that stop sign. So I need to break down what the scenario is and relate it to day trading. So that's how decision is made. Okay, decision is made based on critically looking at the things that will provide what will happen in the future. That's what it means, and it's specific. In this case, with the stop sign, is that there is a stop sign ahead. So what critically defines is this. It says this: stop sign ahead. Okay. That sign says there's something that's impending ahead. which is stop sign ahead. So that answers the second word. The second part of the phrase, which is ahead, stop sign. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. Right there is right there. So when I make a decision, I'm saying, okay, so that means that when I see the sign in the near future, I have to put on the brakes and stop the car. That's what it means. That's what I need to do, and that's what's going to happen. That's where the exit. That's where the exit. That's where the exit will occur. So that means that means if I look here. So that means when I look at this particular situation, lines, channels, Fibonacci, Elliott wave, triangles, arrows, graphical. So text. So that means if I look at this situation, there's going to be it's going to be a that's what it's going to have, okay? And it's going to be just like that, okay? Stop sign ahead. That's what it means, okay? That's what it means. Then that means, and that means there's a stop sign right there, okay? There's a stop sign right here. Okay, it says here stop sign ahead, and there's a stop sign, sure enough. Okay, that's what it means. So analyzing it, stop sign, that's a stop sign, and ahead is saying that there's a stop sign. So how do I make a decision? I'm driving along, I see this, and then I go ahead and I take action, which is the exit strategy or the entry. So this could be the entry, right? So when I look at this, I'm forming a decision I'm forming something that tells me, gathering information that allows me to make a decision. So it allows me information that allows me to make a decision. So when I look at the sign, how do I know that it is the stop sign specifically pinpointing to that specific event that occurs, right? That's what it means. This right there says there's a stop sign. That is a stop sign. So that specifically identifies that particular thing, and ahead states that that's what's going to happen. And now if I were to relate that to day trading, now all I have to do is relate it to day trading. So when I relate that to day trading, how does that make sense? So let's say I'm here. Is this predicting what's going to happen here? So I have to answer that question. Okay, I'm looking at this particular scenario of seeing what's going to happen later on down the road. So let's say I'm here and I see this candle here, and what is that predicting? That it's going to move up? Probably. Maybe that's what it means, right? Also, when I look here, that's the support. So it's bounced off here, bounced off there, but this time around it fell right through. So that could be an indication of what could happen next time around. But what are the criteria that are impacting what happens in the future. What are the things that are impacting it? Okay. So, like this right here, it's bouncing off, it's moving forward. It's going up. Chances are now it's essentially in a trading range. How do I know that it's in a trading range? How? How do I know that it's in a trading range? It's in a trading range because it's here, 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 which leads me to believe that it is in a trading range. That's called a trading range because it is. You call a duck because it looks like a duck, and it is a duck. Statistically, if it looks like a duck, then you have a statistical advantage that it is a duck. It could be some sort of other something. Finer inspection could result in a difference that it could be something else, but if it quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. So, when I'm looking at the situation and analyzing it, and I'm looking at it, so what are the decision processes that I need to do? And it looks like it's going to break through that resistance right here. You see that? Resistance, resistance, near the resistance. Now it's breaking through right there. It looks like it's going to break through that resistance, right? That's what it looks like it's going to do. It's going to break through that. It did break through that resistance. So the decision process is very, 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 very critical. What I need to practice is actually the decision-making process. Okay? Professionals talk about keep practicing, practicing, practicing. But what do you practice? Okay? Making a trade is a blanket statement. So what I need to make is, what do I trade? What practice do I need to make? What kind of thing do I need to make in order to improve my trading? The improvement in my trading is making the decision process. That's the most important thing. After I figure that out, there's going to be a two-step process in trading. See it hit resistance, it started coming back down. That is a confirmation of the conclusion that I made, is that this is resistance, 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 and it's going to pull back. But if it punches through, it's going to punch right through, right? So, what do I need to make? What do I need to practice? This is in a channel. I can see that it's in a channel. It's going to continue in a channel. That is the decision that I made. Okay. That is the decision that I made. Decision that I made is that it's in a long trend. Chances are it's going to stay in that trend. It's a repeated process of what I'm seeing here, and that's going to keep continuing. So even if it pops up a little bit, most likely it's going to drop. But if it doesn't, it's going to be a smaller statistical probability, and it will happen, which means that it is a trend reversal. So what do I practice? What do I practice? I practice I have to practice making a trade, but there are components to making a trade. And one of the components making a trade is essentially decision making. That is the most important part of trading correctly, which is practicing decision making. Practicing decision making is practicing. Making a trade over and over is not, because the first step, well, it is, but the first step is practicing decision making. Practicing decision making practice. Decision making practice. Decision making. Decision making is something that I need to concentrate on. Decision making. Okay, that's what I need to practice. Decision making. Decision making. Decision making. And what I need to do is figure out figure out what are the components that allows me to make that decision, and keep practicing over and over and over and over again. That's what I need to do.